Hey pros, so today we're doing a full-on transformation to my client here who came in and decided that she was over this hairstyle / haircut that she has going on. No, you guys. She actually had started cutting a lot of the damaged hair that she had off and came in and said she's ready to go. So we went ahead and started the process. So a little disclaimer, do as I say and not as I do. So when I am putting on relaxer on a client whose hair is short like this, because time is against my side and my client's hair is super short and right in the heat zone, I need to be able to put that relaxer on really, really quick. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to just use my hands and put the relaxer on. Now, of course, if her hair was long or if it was a retouch, then I would be using a spatula or even a brush. In her case, I am just using my hands on the larger sections. And then, of course, on her hairline is when I decided to use my spatula because I didn't want it to touch her ears or get all over her skin. So as I said, you guys, do as I say and not as I do. Definitely, if you are a professional and you are dealing with relaxer, more than likely I always use the spatula. But in her case, because I want it to go really, really fast and I wanted the relaxer application to be less than about 2 to 3 minutes, that is the reason why I used my hands. Now that her relaxer is fully processed, we are normalizing her hair and preparing her for a cut and a mold. So with any shampoo of a chemical service, I always follow whatever the manufacturer specifications are. In this case, the company that I was using, their relaxer, this is their normalizing shampoo. So I always shampoo the first shampoo fully with their normalizer. And then sometimes my second or even third shampoo, I will mix the normalizer with a little bit of our hair repair and restore conditioner, not conditioner, but shampoo, so that I can still, number one, take away that smell from the normalizing shampoo and the relaxer. And number two, also hit her with a little bit of extra treatment on the hair. Now, in regards to the conditioner, I always also follow the manufacturer specifications and I utilize their conditioner and their normalizer as a part of using their system. That is just one thing that I don't change. I don't change their normalizer and I don't change the conditioner. I will add, but I won't change. Okay, so now that her hair is fully neutralized or normalized and conditioned, now is the time for her haircut. So she is getting a micro pixie. For those of you that don't know, a micro pixie is usually 1 inch or less, sometimes a 1/2 inch. In her case, it's going to be really short because that is basically where we have to start. On the crown of her head, she had a little bit shorter in the crown, so that's really what I was matching her haircut to. And instead of me speeding up the haircut, I did keep it at normal speed because I wanted you guys to be able to see her cut and see exactly how I do my cuts, what I do with my cuts, and not kind of like speed through them. Another reason why I didn't speed the video up is because a lot of times when clients come in, you guys don't really get to see the raw, uncut version of what's going on. And a lot of times speeding up the video can allow you to cover up imperfections, and of course it's trying to save time. In this case, I wanted you guys to see something. As a pro, I typically do not recommend cutting past that second knuckle. Once you get into that area, you are changing the elevation of your cut, which can easily happen. And then also that is the area where hairstylists get cut the most because we attempt to go past that knuckle and there's always a raise in skin or thicker skin in that area. So that's just a little pro tip for those of you who are cosmetologists that do or want to dibble and dabble in haircuts. Now there is 2 different types of way that you will see, or 2 different ways you'll see me do a haircut. Either it's comb over or scissors over comb, or you'll basically see scissors over finger, which is what I'm doing right now. So there's no right or wrong way to the haircut. You just want to make sure that you are following your guide and make sure you're following the anatomy of the head, which is also super duper important when you are dealing with haircuts. Okay, so all of that hair that was slightly longer than her natural hair, that hair really all got cut off. And then what I did notice is in the front or near the front or the crown, she had a little bit more length going towards the face. So instead of me trying to cut it into a very, very short cut, I used that as an accent area where I was able to kind of give her a little bit of graduation in the front. So as her hair grows out, she will have the ability to have more hair going towards her face. Okay. So after we have completed her haircut, now we are going to do our mold using our Elite Silk Wrap Foam. You guys saw me combing her hair in the direction of the style, which is very important when it comes onto the foundation of your of your mold. Got tongue tied, you guys. And then, of course, a little goes a long way with our foam. It lays that hair down really, really nicely, and it does not build up on the hair or leave any sticky residue, which I'm super proud of that. So I'll always tell you guys that. Now, another pro tip that I did mention in a previous video, it's always a good thing if you kind of mold out your hairline as well. That gives you a little more accent and style in the face. I've been noticing that a lot of stylists are doing this now as well, because it just makes that hairstyle even more sleek and even more appealing or eye-catching, especially to the front of the face. And it gives the face a nice shape as well. Now, for her to go under the dryer with this, she can go under with or without end papers. I am a stickler for end papers or wrap strips, so I like to use these, especially with a fresh relaxer. Makes life so much simpler, and she dries really quickly, under 30 minutes under the dryer with this. As the hair dries, the papers will fall off, which is a telltale sign that the hair is actually dry in that area. And it actually holds the hair down really nicely as well. All right, so I'm going to spray her down with just a little bit of water. This also helps to bring down some of that foam action and allows the end papers to stick to her hair really well. Now that her hair is dry, we are going to just go ahead and reduce some of that density near the nape of her neck, give her a nice edge. And that's really it. Like, if your mold is done right, you don't have to do a whole lot of work. And that's the reason why I always say your mold is your foundation, and that needs to definitely be right. So let's talk clippers. I do not edge the back of my neck because I cannot see it. I typically allow someone else to do it, but there are different shapes that you can do in the nape. Some people do a squoval. Some people like it nice and square. Some people like it like an arrow with a point. Others like it faded and don't want the hard line at the bottom. So you don't have to always stick to the one-sided kind of approach, which is the squoval or the square. Now, what you guys see me doing with my Babyliss Clippers, these are the Gold FX Babyliss Clippers, just so everybody's aware. I use those in the open position to remove some of the density in the nape of the neck. And when I say remove some of the density, meaning it is lightly shaving the area just to taper it down, just a very small amount. Okay. And then I just applied some of our Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum to her hair. This is also going to be her heat protectant and her glossifier. Now, because this is a micro pixie, I'm literally just going through and bumping her hair in the different areas. It is not going to be a full-on curl. Now, if I wanted it to be a full-on curl, then I could have used the Marcel irons with a really, really small Marcel. But I have definitely gotten away from the Marcels because we are not in the place where you want your hair to be all tight curled and laid and like you want it to be moved or movable and flowy, right? And then for the front of the face, just take note to those different little accent pieces that we did with the little wave. It lays really nicely. I don't really disturb the wave. I just use that as a guide for my hairstyle. And guys, I honestly never know how I'm going to curl my client's hair unless they come with like some form of picture or something. And then at that point, I'll do a full on, whatever they ask me to do. But in cases like this, I literally just kind of think outside the box off the top of my head. And this is when I make, whatever style of preference that I have. So I used her accents in the front where I did the waves just as a plus for this. And then if you guys see in the crown, she has a good amount of length that gives her some real notoriety. I'll use that word. I don't know if I use the right word for the style. I think I just kind of like made that word work. Okay, yeah. But the iron that I'm using is the H2 Pro 3/10 of an inch micro, MIKRO, not MICRO. And I will definitely find a link to put in the description box. We are actually giving away a 3/10 of an inch micro iron. You guys will get details on that soon. Anyway, you guys, comment down below, tell us what you think, and once again, thanks so much for watching. Peace.